The sky over Earth turned red for the first time in history. It wasn't a sunset and it wasn't a storm. It was something far worse. A ship, black and massive, appeared above Earth's orbit. Bigger than anything humans had ever seen. It blocked out the stars. It made no sound. It sent no greeting. It just appeared and watched. Then, every screen on Earth lit up. Phones, TVs, computers, even old radios started speaking in all human languages at once. One short message repeated again and again. Prepare for your extinction. Our strongest warrior is coming. Panic began within seconds. People ran into the streets. News channels screamed with fear. Military leaders in every country called emergency meetings. All satellites pointed to the sky, showing the alien ship still hovering, unmoving, like a dark god staring down. The United Nations held a crisis meeting. Experts talked. Generals argued. Every country prepared their best weapons, their most elite soldiers. But it didn't matter. They all knew. Nothing made by humans could stand against what was coming. Far away, deep underground in a secret military base that didn't officially exist, alarms were going off. Red lights flashed in long white halls. Soldiers ran, carrying weapons and shouting orders. In the middle of the chaos, one general stood, calmly, watching a giant screen showing the alien ship. He didn't look scared. He didn't look surprised. He turned to a young officer beside him. "Wake him up." The officer blinked. "Sir, you mean him?" "Yes. Get Jack Riley. We're sending him." "Sir, with respect, he's drunk. He's probably still in the supply closet." The general smiled, just a little. "He's exactly what we need." Far below, in a small dark room filled with cleaning supplies and empty energy drink cans, a man lay snoring loudly. He wore old marine gear and had a half-empty bottle of something strong in one hand. His name was Corporal Jack Riley, a soldier, a war hero, a headache to everyone. Someone knocked on the door. No answer. The knock came again, harder this time. Still nothing. Finally, the door opened, and a young soldier stepped in. He wrinkled his nose at the smell. "Corporal Riley, sir. You need to get up." Jack groaned. "Go away." "No, sir. The world is ending. Literally. You've been selected." Jack opened one eye. Selected for what? More push-ups? The soldier handed him a tablet showing the alien ship and the message repeating again. Jack stared at it for a second, then scratched his head. "Well, that's not good. Sir, you've been chosen to respond to the threat." Jack sat up slowly. "Why me?" The soldier shrugged. "General's orders." Jack muttered something, grabbed his boots, and stood up. He looked like a mess. His hair was wild, his uniform wrinkled, and his eyes red. But there was something else under the surface. Something hidden. Something dangerous. In the command center, people watched as Jack entered. Many stared. Some laughed quietly. Others shook their heads. "Are we really sending him?" One officer whispered. "He smells like whiskey," another said. The general ignored them. He walked over to Jack and handed him a folder. Inside were pictures of the alien warrior, 10 feet tall, glowing armor, weapons made of energy. A creature built for war. Jack raised an eyebrow. "Nice costume." "That thing destroyed a space station by itself," the general said. "It's already on its way down." Jack blinked. "And I'm supposed to do what exactly? Invite it for drinks?" The general leaned close. "You don't need to fight it the usual way. You just need to be yourself." Jack looked confused. "You mean drunk and annoyed?" "Exactly." Around the room, no one could understand the general's plan. But the general remembered something no one else did. Years ago, during an alien raid on a secret facility, Jack had accidentally stopped the enemy using nothing but a broken mop, a bottle of rum, and pure chaos. It hadn't made sense. It still didn't. But it worked. Now Earth was in danger again, and they needed that same madness. As Jack walked out to the launch bay, still yawning and sipping from a coffee cup filled with something that wasn't coffee, soldiers stared at him. Some looked angry, some looked scared, But no one could stop him now. The launch pad opened. A transport ship waited. Jack climbed in slowly, muttering, "This better not take long." From space, the alien warrior watched as Jack's ship rose from Earth. Its scanners picked up the human life form. It analyzed the data. The results were strange. The human didn't match any known combat type. He was unpredictable, illogical. The alien narrowed its glowing eyes. It had defeated thousands of warriors across the galaxy. But this one didn't make sense, and that made it nervous. The game had begun. The transport ship shook slightly as it rose through the clouds. Inside, Jack Riley leaned back in his seat, holding a half-crushed energy drink. His uniform was wrinkled, and he wore one boot. The other foot had a sock with a hole in it. He didn't seem to care. Across from him sat a young soldier named Davis. Davis was new, nervous, and very serious. He kept glancing at Jack like he was sitting beside a wild animal. "Sir," Davis said, "I read your file. You once threw a microwave at an alien commander?" Jack nodded slowly. "Yeah, but I missed. It hit a fuel tank instead. Big boom, total accident." Davis blinked. "And they gave you a medal for that?" Jack took a sip. "They had to. I was standing in the only building still standing after the blast." The ship shook again, this time harder. The pilot's voice came over the speaker. "Entering combat zone. Alien warrior has landed. Full destruction pattern confirmed. City is gone." Davis turned pale. "They wiped out an entire city in under 5 minutes. Jack scratched his beard. "Good thing I packed light." They landed in what was once a large city. Now, it was only broken glass, fire, and silence. The sky was gray with smoke. Tall. Buildings had become piles of stone. Nothing moved. No birds, no machines, no people. Jack stepped out of the ship, still yawning. He looked around. "Wow, and I thought my apartment was messy." The alien warrior stood 2 blocks away. Tall as a tank, armor glowing blue. Its 4 eyes locked onto Jack the moment he stepped into view. Jack waved. "Hey, big guy, you lost?" The alien didn't answer. It simply stepped forward. Each movement was heavy, like thunder. It raised one hand, showing a weapon shaped like a glowing spear. With a quick flick, it burned a line across the ground between them. Like a warning, Davis whispered into his comms. "Target is locked. Repeat, target is locked. Engage?" The general's voice came back. "Negative. Let Riley handle this." "Sir, he's not even aiming." Jack was now talking to the alien. "Listen, I don't want to fight. I came here by accident. Honestly, I was in the middle of a nap." The alien took another step. Jack pulled something from his jacket. A small glass bottle. "Look, I even brought a gift. You like Earth drinks?" He tossed the bottle. It bounced once, then rolled toward the alien. The warrior looked down at it, confused. Jack shrugged. Tough crowd. Without warning, the alien moved. Fast, faster than anything human. It rushed at Jack like a blur. Davis screamed into the mic. "It's charging! He's gonna die!" But Jack didn't move. At the last second, the alien stopped, just inches from Jack's face. It stared into his eyes, searching, scanning. But it saw something it couldn't understand. Jack smiled. "Man, your breath smells like burnt batteries," he said. The alien hesitated. For the first time, it seemed unsure. It raised its weapon again, but slower this time. Jack, still calm, pulled out a pocket mirror and looked at his hair. "I really need a haircut." The alien swung its energy spear. Jack ducked, not with skill but by accident. He dropped the mirror, bent to pick it up, and the spear passed right over his head. Then Jack stood up and punched. It wasn't strong, it wasn't fast, but somehow, it hit the perfect spot. The alien staggered back. One of its 4 eyes sparked. "Davis," gasped. "What just happened?" The command center erupted in shock. The general smiled. "He's doing it again." Back in the city, Jack blinked. "Huh, that actually worked." The alien took a step back. Its body shimmered like it was rebooting. It had fought thousands of enemies before. None of them moved like this. None of them fought like this. None of them acted like him. Jack pointed a finger. "Your turn, Toasterhead." But the alien didn't move. Not yet. Up in orbit, The alien ship processed new data. The human was, now labeled, unstable, unknown, high threat level. And somewhere deep in space, another alien command post received the signal. Warning, Earth contains Type 0 Chaos units. Do not engage directly. But it was too late. The battle had already begun. Smoke floated in the air like ghosts. Fires burned quietly around the broken city, casting long shadows. Jack Riley stood in the middle of the street, brushing dust off his shoulder. In front of him, the alien warrior was down on one knee, armor sparking. The glowing spear was stuck in the side of a ruined car, but it wasn't over. Not even close. Jack raised both hands like a referee. "All right, buddy. Round one's done. You want a break? Maybe some tea?" The alien didn't answer. It let out a low, sharp sound, half growl, half code. Its armor began to glow brighter. The blue lights turned red. Davis shouted through the comms, "Sir, the enemy is changing form. It's entering some kind of advanced mode." Jack looked at the warrior's body as metal plates shifted and opened. Sharp blades came out of its arms, extra limbs unfolded from its back. Now it looked like a monster from a nightmare. Jack sighed. Oh, great. It's a transformer. The alien stood tall again, faster than before, stronger. Its eyes locked on Jack, and then it ran straight at him. Jack barely dodged the first swing. A metal blade sliced the wall behind him. The second attack was even faster. Jack jumped over. A broken pipe, rolled, and stood up on the hood of an old police car. The alien followed, crashing through debris like it wasn't even there. Jack moved quickly, but not like a trained fighter. His movements were wild, like he was dancing badly at a party. Yet somehow, every attack missed him by inches. Davis watched from the ship's window, eyes wide. He's not fighting. He's just surviving. But that's where the alien made a mistake. It expected a warrior. It expected tactics, strategy. What it got was chaos. Jack grabbed a metal trash can lid and used it as a shield. He smacked it against the alien's face with a loud clang. The warrior stumbled back in confusion. Jack shouted, "Trash day, metalhead!" The alien roared and leaped at him again. Jack ran, not bravely, not like a hero. He ran like a man late for a bus. He jumped through a broken window, rolled across a dusty office floor, and threw a stapler behind him. Somehow, it hit the alien right in the eye. Davis yelled, "That's impossible!" Inside the command center, officers watched the live drone feed. Nobody could believe what they were seeing. "He's not killing it," one whispered. "He's confusing it," the general nodded. "Exactly. That warrior is built to destroy. Trained enemies. It reads patterns, tracks movements. But Jack has no pattern. He's the storm." Jack now stood inside the office building, panting. He looked around and grabbed a fire extinguisher. "Well," he muttered, "let's make this more fun." The alien broke through the wall behind him. Jack sprayed foam directly into its face. The warrior screamed, a high-pitched sound that made every window crack. It stepped back, armor sizzling. Jack tossed the extinguisher, grabbed a nearby chair, and smacked it across the alien's legs. Again, the warrior fell. From above, the alien command ship was silent, but inside, red lights flashed. Warning messages filled the screen in alien language. Target elusive. Attack strategy failing. Logic loop integrity broken. Back on Earth, Jack stepped over the alien's body. It wasn't dead, just confused, rebooting. He bent down, tapped its head, and said, "Next time don't mess with a man on a hangover." Suddenly, the warrior's eyes flashed again, and it stood. Jack jumped back. "Oh, come on! Again?" But this time, the alien didn't attack. It just stared, quiet. Its red light slowly faded back to blue. It tilted its head, watching Jack, with something close to curiosity. Jack blinked. "You're not mad?" The alien slowly nodded. Jack tilted his head back. "You learn fast." In the sky, a second alien pod dropped down, bigger than the first. This one wasn't a warrior. It was a command unit. Jack looked up. Oh. The general's voice came through the radio. "Riley, another one's coming. This might be their leader." Jack took a deep breath, wiped blood from his eyebrow, and said, "Well, Tell them to bring coffee. I'm just getting started. As the second pod landed and opened with a hiss, Jack stood ready. A smile on his face, one boot missing, eyes locked forward. The first warrior stepped beside him, and for the first time, it didn't look like Earth was fighting alone. The second alien pod opened with a slow, heavy sound. Cold, white steam poured out like it was breathing. Jack Riley stood there with one shoe missing, shirt torn, holding a bent pipe like a sword. The first alien warrior, now standing beside him, didn't move. Jack squinted through the smoke. You better not be uglier than the last guy. From inside the pod, something stepped forward. Not a warrior, not a monster. It was calm, tall, thin, wearing smooth silver armor with long glowing lines down its arms. No weapons, just presence. The first warrior stepped back. It bowed its head slightly. Jack noticed. "Oh," Jack muttered. "That's the boss." Davis spoke through the earpiece. "Confirmed. That's a command unit. We've never seen one on Earth before. Sir, be careful." Jack raised one hand in a lazy wave. "Yeah, I'll send him a welcome basket." The alien commander finally spoke. Not in alien language, but perfect English. "You are human?" Jack raised an eyebrow. "Technically, yeah. Right now I'm about 30% caffeine, 70% bad decisions." The commander stepped closer. "You are not the strongest of your kind." Jack shrugged. "Nope." "You are not the smartest." "Nope again." "You do not follow logic. You waste energy. You use broken tools. You speak nonsense. And yet—" The commander looked at the first warrior. "You are still standing." Jack looked over at the warrior beside him, then back at the commander. "Yeah, well, I'm stubborn." There was a pause. The wind moved ash around the battlefield. Distant fires crackled. The alien commander tilted its head slightly, studying Jack like a puzzle it couldn't solve. "We deployed our greatest weapon," the commander said. "It has never lost. And now, it refuses to fight you again." The warrior next to Jack remained silent, still, but it didn't raise its arms. It didn't glow red. Its blade stayed hidden. Jack leaned on the bent pipe. "So what now? You gonna call your space mom to pick you up?" The commander ignored the insult. It stepped forward again and raised one hand. A blue orb appeared above its palm. It floated there, glowing softly. Jack frowned. "That a bomb or something?" "No," the commander said. "This is memory, understanding. I wish to see what you are, what humans are. But I cannot enter your mind." Jack scratched his neck. "Yeah, it's pretty messy in there. I need connection," the commander said. "I must understand the reason you win, not by strength, not by speed, but something else." Jack stared at the orb, then sighed. "All right, but you better not judge me for the stupid parts." The commander nodded. The orb floated toward Jack slowly. It stopped just in front of his forehead and flashed. In an instant, the alien commander saw everything. Jack's childhood, fighting bullies with a stick, his time in the military, his failures, his laughter, his pain, the bar fight in Arizona, the time he saved a kid from drowning, the night he cried alone after losing his dog, the mission where he stayed behind to cover his team's retreat. Not clean, not noble, not perfect, but real. The orb vanished. The commander stood still for a long time, then finally said, "Now I see. Your strength is not in perfection. It is in your chaos, your mistakes, your heart." Jack rolled his eyes. Yeah. I'm basically a mess with fists." The commander turned to its warrior and spoke in their own language. The warrior nodded once. Then the commander looked back at Jack. "We were sent here to conquer, but I see now that conquest is not victory. You, drunk human, have changed the outcome." Jack blinked. "Wait, what?" A soft tone echoed across the sky. Every alien ship above the planet paused. The commander spoke once more. "We will leave, not because we are weak, but because your kind is not finished. Not yet." Jack leaned forward. "You mean You're calling off the invasion? The commander nodded. For now. And just like that, it walked back into the podjos. The warrior followed. The pod sealed shut and began to rise into the air. Jack stared at the sky. Did I just win a war by being hungover and dumb? Davis came through the earpiece, laughing. Yes, sir. Yes, you did. Jack sat down on a broken step, pulled out a crushed energy drink from his pocket, and said, Next time, maybe they'll bring 2 warriors. Above Earth, the alien fleet turned. One by one, the ships disappeared into space. The world was safe. For now. The alien ships vanished into the sky like ghosts slipping between stars. All around Earth, the invasion simply stopped. Radar screens cleared. Satellites stopped tracking enemy movement. The airwaves went silent. Inside the military command center, cheers broke out. Officers stared at screens in disbelief. Some cried, some hugged, some just collapsed in their chairs. But the man who stopped it all? He was lying flat on the ground next to a burned-out Jeep, one boot off, holding a half-empty bottle of soda and humming a song no one else recognized. Jack Riley. A soldier walked up to him carefully. Sir, Marine Riley, orders from command. They want you flown to HQ immediately. They're calling you a hero. Jack didn't move. Tell them I'll come. After breakfast. And a nap, maybe in a week. The soldier hesitated, then smiled. Understood, sir. News spread across the world in minutes. Every channel, every radio, every feed told the same impossible story. Earth wasn't saved by nuclear missiles, not by a secret weapon, not by a genius scientist, but by a Marine, drunk, unshaved, wearing the wrong boots. His photo went viral. Someone made a meme. Aliens sent their strongest. We sent Jack. It broke the internet. But while the world celebrated, deep in orbit, something else was happening. Inside the last alien ship, hidden behind Earth's moon, a quiet figure stood in front of a tall screen. It was the same commander who had spoken with Jack. Its armor now shimmered with shifting colors. Alone, it replayed the memory orb one more time. Jack laughing. Jack crying. Jack fighting. Jack refusing to quit, even when bleeding. Another alien walked in, silent and smaller. It waited. Then finally asked, "Should we prepare another invasion?" The commander turned. "No, not now. But we have strength, weapons, armies." "Yes," the commander said. "But they have something stronger, something we do not understand. They are unpredictable. Their weakness becomes power. Their chaos becomes survival." The smaller alien didn't reply. The commander looked back at Earth, its glowing cities, its messy life, its noise. One of them confused us, defeated us, and he wasn't even trying. The screen zoomed in. Jack Riley, now sitting outside a small diner, was eating pancakes. He looked terrible. Hair sticking up, syrup on his chin. Still the same man, and yet somehow different. The commander nodded once. "Let them grow. We will watch. But next time, if we return, we must be ready for all of them, not just the strong ones." Back on Earth, Jack didn't care about what was happening in space. He didn't care about medals, ceremonies, or interviews. The president had tried to call him 3 times. He hit ignore. Jack Riley just wanted to eat in peace. But then, something strange happened. A small device, shaped like a black coin, dropped from the sky and landed on the table next to his pancakes. Jack stared at it. It pulsed once with blue light. Then again, his eyes narrowed. He looked up. Nothing in the sky. He picked it up carefully. It was warm. On the back, written in glowing alien letters, were 3 words that translated into perfect English. "We will return." Jack smiled slowly. "Good. I'll be sober next time." He tucked the device into his pocket, stood up, stretched, and looked out across the road. Somewhere out there, other aliens were watching, waiting. But Jack Riley wasn't scared. He was just annoyed his pancakes got cold. As he walked away from the table, he muttered, "Next time, bring beer." And with that, Earth's strangest hero, hungover, stubborn, impossible, walked back into a world he had saved, without even trying. But in the dark corners of the galaxy, the story of Jack Riley was just beginning. Because humans weren't just survivors. They were a problem. A beautiful, dangerous problem. And now, the universe knew it. Forever.